What up, y'all? John Murray here, and I want to say thank you for tuning in to the YouTube playback of my Facebook Live series, Let's Talk Live. Now, because this version is not live, you won't be a part of the interactive conversation, so don't look for a shout out. You won't be getting one. However, enjoy the Hot Topics dialogue and follow me on Facebook at John Murray World. That's JAWNMURRAY World, so that you can catch a live broadcast and be a part of the conversation. Now, let's join Let's Talk Live, already in progress, for about 4 minutes. Okay, let's talk. Quiet news day. Nothing going on in the world, huh? Let's start with Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett has had all charges dropped by the assistant state's attorney in Chicago. The police are upset. The mayor's upset. The Chicago police superintendent's upset. Folks are pissed off. If you've been following this case closely, you know it has had more twists and turns than an episode of Empire. It has been pretty crazy. It went from Empire to Law and Order Chicago edition, and now it's taken on a turn that nobody really saw coming. I was up really late last night working on a couple things, and so I had a slow start to my morning, and so I was kind of working in the bed this morning. And when the first article I saw about all charges being dropped, I just thought somebody had made a mistake. And then I went and looked at a few other news outlets and was like, oh, hell, this is for real. And I was on a cable news fast this week just because every now and then I have to kind of take some time off from cable news just to I can get a little overwhelmed with cable news. I'm a news junkie. I'm a TV junkie. And so I decided to take some time off of cable news. So this was going to be my week of detox from cable news. And unfortunately, I turned it on and the political commentators were stunned. The anchors were everybody was stunned. It just was, Carmen, it was not all circumstantial evidence. If you actually pay attention to the details of the case, there was a backdoor deal that was brokered. Clearly, Jussie's attorney was able to get in with the assistant state's attorney and work out a deal to get these charges dropped. And it was done without any communication to the Chicago PD or any of the other Chicago officials. The challenge for Jussie is that even though they dropped the charges, the state's attorney said in a statement that the evidence still holds true, that this does not exonerate him, and they pretty much said we still believe he's guilty, we just don't want to pursue the case. The one thing every legal analyst I've seen on television today said was that that the Chicago PD got a raw deal. Now listen, the Chicago PD has a very checkered past. They have a very questionable relationship, particularly with the African American community. And so one of my favorite legal analyst lawyers, Areva Martin, she's also on that talk show with Vivica Fox, To Tell the Truth. I like Areva a lot. And Areva Martin said on CNN today, I have never been on this network defending the police, particularly as a defense attorney. It's very seldom that you hear me side on the side of police. But Areva Martin said the Chicago police got a raw deal in this situation. I don't know why this attorney, the assistant state's attorney, did this to them, but they deserve to be outraged. Charles Ramsey, who I believe was the Chicago chief of police for a while, he was also the chief of police in D.C. For a significant amount of time. He was stark raving mad on CNN. I mean, he was upset, and so it's been very interesting to to see the outrage here. Now, I will say this. I believe that Jussie should have just, left the courtroom, made his brief statement, and then went home and been playing the O'Neal twin songs, Jesus dropped the charges, Jesus dropped the charges. I think he needed to go home and just celebrate the fact that things worked out for his good. What I don't think should happen here is that he should be arrogant or boastful or play his hand too much in acting as though that this is an exoneration of him and that this is an indication of innocence. Now, I'm not giving my opinion one way or the other. What I'm saying is this. I read the evidence and the bond agreement and so much of the documentation against him. And I know Jussie personally, not very well, but same entertainment settings. He had an album release event last year in LA. He personally invited me to it. We text occasionally. I like him. I think he's a genuinely nice guy, a talented actor. I think he's, really a cool brother. But the truth is, this was almost a bad situation for him. And the evidence against him looked really bad. And no matter what you think of any of this, the truth is, and this is in the broader sense, not about this specific case, but in the broader sense, if a hate crime was abused, if a crime against the LGBT community was abused, if any of these things that were presented were not true, and again, the assistant state's attorney who dropped the charges pretty much said, we believe he's guilty, we're just not going to move forward. The police, the mayor, they're leaking all types of information today, text messages, all kind of stuff. Everybody believes that, all of them believe, I should say, that he is guilty, but he just caught a break in this situation. I would just tell the man, humble is the way. This is not the first time a black man has avoided having to face justice in the criminal justice system. I mean, R. Kelly's first trial, how many of y'all saw the tape? And look what happened to him. O.J. Simpson. And so while what Jussie Smollett was accused of isn't clearly on the level of either one of those individuals, anytime you get a free pass at a situation that looked like it wasn't going to work for your good, you should just be thankful and humble and grateful and move on with your life. So I hope that's the route that he's going to take. I hope we're not dealing with any other stunts or alleged hoax or any other instances like this. And I hope nobody who was offended or upset or confused by any of these dynamics or accusations against him then try to make him live out what he said happened to him for real. I just hope all of this goes away after this. That's the gist of what I'm saying. So, congratulations to Jussie Smollett. But be humble, brother. Don't, be humble, move on. Don't get carried away. Because, that's all I'm going to say. Eloise Fouquet Maybon says O.J. Simpson didn't do it. Okay, if you believe that, you also believe I'm the next Elvis Presley. And if some of you would like to talk about the Jussie thing on camera, I'm going to take some video callers tonight. So if you need to put on a little layer of lipstick or, brothers, you need to brush your waves, I'm open to you joining the conversation. Well, since we in Chicago and the block is hot in Chicago, let's talk about R. Kelly. So a whole city and a whole nation came out and said R. Kelly wasn't scheduled to have no concerts here. Now, do I believe that maybe a promoter was trying to book some concerts with R. Kelly? Sure. I do believe that there was the potential for a concert there. But, there are certain places that you go when you travel internationally. In order for you to get a visa to work or even a a visa for you to just vacation or go as a tourist, you got to be able to give them a full itinerary. And so in this particular case, they wanted to see, there was no full itinerary, I should say. If R. Kelly was negotiating with some promoters or had some things in the work about going to Dubai, the truth is that it wasn't concrete. And so, and the unfortunate thing is that he appeared to be a flight risk, because of the fact that he was, talking about going to Dubai, which is a city in the United Arab Emirates, and the whole daggone city and its royal family came out and was like, no, you ain't scheduled to come here, brother. So, it's just not looking good for R. Kelly. And again, just to bring you up to speed on the R. Kelly thing, what's happening currently with R. Kelly is strictly based on the charges or the indictments that have come from Chicago alone. There still are pending indictments, forthcoming indictments, potentially from Georgia, from New York, and Florida. And I happen to know that both the FBI and Homeland Security have been interviewing people that have worked with him, that have been associated with him. And they've been extensive, exhaustive, long interviews. I know 2 people who had to fly to New York and interview with Homeland Security and the FBI for almost 10 hours each. And I'm not going to detail some of the things that they said that came up in the meeting, but the block is hot in Chicago. That's all I have to say about that. What else y'all want to talk about? Well, let's get to some of your questions in advance. And again, if you think you might want to jump on video with me tonight, tonight's a good night to do it. We're going to get in and out. And I'm going to try to get through the show without singing Jesus Dropped the Charges. All right, Jaconda Jefferson said, what do you think about R. Kelly saying his concerts were in Dubai when he doesn't? And do you think the charges against Michael Avenatti thing have any bearing on the R. Kelly case? Okay, I don't think the R. Kelly case and Michael Avenatti have anything to do with each other. The Michael Avenatti case, if you don't know about it, just Google it. I don't want to get into it. But he's not the prosecutor. He only presented information on behalf of several defendants to Kim Cook, the Chicago prosecutor. So that won't have any bearing on the R. Kelly case because there's evidence in that case and there are witnesses and other people. It has nothing to do with one particular attorney. What is my opinion on Wendy Williams building an empire on other people's personal lives but not being open about her own? That's from Kendra Curry. That's a great question. I believe what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't believe that somebody who works in entertainment has to be completely open about everything that they do and everything going on in their lives. However, Wendy has a very special or particular type of brand of entertainment that she does. I mean, hardcore gossip is her thing. So it's not like The View or The Real or other talk shows where they're offering perspective or they're taking a piece of a topic and offering a point of view in a broader sense. Wendy usually, specifically, deals with people's issues and stuff. And, there's TV Wendy and then there's the Wendy that she was on the radio who wasn't as family, friendly. And so I do believe that if you're going to, delve deep into other people's opinions and relationships and things like that, you got to be willing to be open about your own. And I understand why people are upset with her. I see there's a lot of commentary and comments where people call her a hypocrite. I think we have to be very intentional about the careers we choose and how we do the work that we do when we're there. And so, in that regard, that's why Wendy's now in the hot seat. So, let's see. Verna Powell Jones is coming to Washington, D.C. in 2 weeks. and she wants some must-to-do things when she gets here. Yes, you should definitely go to the National Museum of African American History and Culture, the Smithsonian Museum. It's a great place to go. Some restaurants that I love. You go to Busboys and Poets. That's one of my favorite places. Carolina Kitchen, great soul food. There is a ramen place that Carla Hall, formerly of the Chew, turned me on to, called Hiken, Haikeen, I believe it is. Great spot to check out. What else? Yeah, those are a bunch of my favorites. There's a really great semi-late night spot called the Hamilton that's really good. Those are some great places to dine. What else should you check out? I mean, check out all the museums and the monuments, and hopefully the weather will be here. I think the cherry blossoms will be in bloom when you get here. Yeah, so it's a lot to do in DC. Enjoy yourself. Have a great time. And I hope that gives you some insight on some things to see. Jerry Harris says, what do I think about all the backlash and criticism Oprah received for interviewing the Michael Jackson accusers? Was it warranted or unwarranted? I think it was a bunch of bull, to be honest with you, Jerry. Oprah Winfrey is a journalist. And it was funny because I tweeted about this and it got a hell of a lot of retweets. But it was somebody that was like, Oprah Winfrey's not a journalist. She's a former talk show host who now owns a network. People don't realize this. Oprah has a contract with 60 Minutes, and guess what she does? Interviews. But Oprah Winfrey has always been about sexual assault and molestation. That's been part of her plight, part of the things that she's talked about regularly throughout her years. I think she said something during that interview, that special that she did after leaving Neverland, that she's done something like 238 hours of television on sexual assault and molestation alone. And so I thought it was a captivating interview. It was no indictment on Michael Jackson. And if you actually watch the interview, there was very little conversation about Michael Jackson, but more so about molestation and sexual assault. And so I don't know why people think media personalities are supposed to choose sides. And I guess maybe the whole cable news culture with commentators and pundits and stuff like that makes people think that you should choose one way or the other. But the same way that Oprah Winfrey had interviewed Michael Jackson throughout the years, it's the same way that if somebody's accusing Michael Jackson of a horrendous act, particularly something that's in Oprah Winfrey's wheelhouse, I can understand why she'd do a special on it. Would I interview Wade Robeson or James Safechuck? I absolutely would, and I don't care about any Michael Jackson fans that'd be upset about it. And in the broader discussion, I also don't think that people should be talking about moving or removing Michael Jackson's music or muting his music. Here's the thing. The whole Mute R. Kelly campaign took place because people were trying to stop a predator who was currently doing very bad acts and was being ignored by mainstream media, because the reality is that the young ladies in R. Kelly's house were black girls, and if they looked more like Miley Cyrus or Lindsay Lohan, people would be bursting down the doors to get in there and save those girls and stop this whole sex trafficking ring and private cult thing that he had going on. But that wasn't how that worked out, and so Mute R. Kelly was a campaign that was done to cut off the financing of a modern day predator who was currently abusing black girls. This whole idea that every time you find out a revelation about an artist, or you don't like something that an artist friend or somebody like that, you cut off their music. It's foolish. And if you start with Michael Jackson, then you have to do Elvis Presley, and you have to do Frank Sinatra, you have to do Marvin Gaye, and you have to do Rick James, and you have to do Jerry Lee Lewis. There are gospel artists currently out right now whose music shouldn't be playing because of their poor acts. So I don't believe in censoring music, because if we start sanitizing music and pop culture based on all the bad acts of all the dead people, then we would lose 1/5, more like a third or a half of everything that is being consumed in popular culture. And to the gentleman who said, because I've been seeing this foolish chatter, and here's the thing: stop posting memes and reposting things without Googling and doing research. So somebody said, well, where's Oprah's interview with her friend Harvey Weinstein. Well, Oprah Winfrey and Harvey Weinstein are no longer friends, and she actually did an interview on CBS this morning where she came out and denounced him and his actions because, like a lot of people in Hollywood, me included, I didn't know Harvey Weinstein was a serial rapist who was sexually assaulting women. And the reality is that when you know better, you do better. And so stop that bull about Oprah and Harvey Weinstein and her working an agenda and start studying to show yourself approved. They say if you want to hide something from particularly black people, put it in a book. And we read headlines and regurgitate foolish information that people perpetuate and working their own agenda on social media without even seeing if half of this stuff is real. So stop being dumb social media users. Study to show yourself approved. Learn to read. And while you're learning to read, maybe watch a few videos because you could actually see Oprah Winfrey sitting down with Gayle King where they have a full conversation about Harvey Weinstein. Because Gayle King is somebody who's been very vocal about people who participate in sexual assault because Charlie Rose, her co-anchor on CBS This Morning, lost his job for that very reason. So stop the BS on that playing white people versus black people stuff. It's dumb. Here's the thing. There are 2 black people who got away with sexually assaulting women longer than most people ever would in life. And that's Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. I can give you a laundry list of white celebrities, men who lost their careers in days, weeks, hours, and months. I'm talking about guys like Les Moonves, who was the head of networks, to Matt Lauer. I'm talking about people who were at the head of their business. Mario Batali. The truth is that there are at least 20 plus white guys. Matter of fact, I read a piece that said it's like the 50 or so men, the majority of them white, who lost their careers due to the Me Too movement. And Bill Cosby was able to do this for decades. Bill Cosby was drugging and raping women before most people on this timeline was born. And so as people of color in particular, we've got to stop defending black criminals. We did that with OJ and we look stupid. And Gordon Newman, you're very ignorant. You should learn to read because most of these people have been arrested. They were arrested within days and weeks. And those who weren't arrested is because their actions are outside of the statute of limitations, which is why Bill Cosby was able to escape justice for so long. So stop defending black criminals because it really says about how you really feel, it really says how you feel about women. You know what I'm saying? Particularly women of color. So cut the BS with all of that and actually go. Harvey Weinstein is up for. He did go to jail. He was arrested and he's up on 3 criminal charges. Most of those other guys can't go to jail because the criminal justice system in general is not set up for sexual assault victims. Those are facts. And if you actually would read and stop perpetuating social media innuendo and BS, you would learn that that's what people are advocating for in Congress and with states legislators right now. They're trying to change the laws to be more beneficial to sexual assault victims, both adult and children. The statute of limitations don't work. That's how Bill Cosby escaped justice for so long. So please stop the bull and stop perpetuation the false narrative of race baiting. Here's the thing. I'm on cable television all the time defending black people. And the reality also is that I get hate mail from people who hate the fact that I'm an advocate of civil rights and social justice. But I got to call a thing a thing. And so everything isn't about race. And we make certain things about race, and we defend criminals in situations where we shouldn't be. And we've got to be better and smarter. And if that's not the plight that you choose for your life, this ain't the space for you. Because I want to be around enlightened, informed, educated people who aren't just blaming other people for why things are the way that they are. We started this conversation today with a black man who has a lot of evidence against him who was able to escape the criminal justice system. So it works both ways sometimes. So that's just the truth. That's just truth. Karen Irvin, let's just not get into the Bill Cosby thing because you're about to sound really foolish. All right, let me answer a few more questions because it's a very ignorant bunch in here tonight. Tamiko Washington Rush, I've already answered that. Let's see. All right, most of these questions are about the Jussie stuff. I've pretty much dealt with that. Somebody asked me what I think about John Gray. My only point of view on John Gray is he should probably shut up. John Gray talks way too much. The John Gray story would have died a long time ago if he would stop talking. It's really just that simple about John Gray. Silence is golden. Kim Possible Smith says, no one looked stupid with the OJ case. Which one of us was supposed to believe Mark Furman? Lots of people look stupid with the OJ case, and I think you look stupid for saying nobody looks stupid, but that's my point of view. Y'all keep asking me about Kim Burrell. Okay, Kim Burrell apparently was at some church, made some sideways comments about Fantasia. Leandria Johnson is better than Fantasia, and that Leandria Johnson should be doing the Aretha Franklin movie. Well, first of all, Jennifer Hudson is doing the Aretha Franklin movie and not Fantasia. Again, I love Kim Burrell. She's one of the great vocal wonders. She has a very exceptional technical gift. But she's somebody else who should just stop talking about things in public that just have no relevance to her gift. Like, just sing and talk about Jesus. But you taking digs at singers that you don't need to be taking digs at, and then you taking digs at singers who ain't even in the movies that you're describing. You know? It's just an unnecessary situation. It just shouldn't have happened. Leandria Johnson, since I mentioned her name and she's attached to the Kim Burrell thing, I watched the Yana Fix My Life. I knew the episode was going to be airing. I'm very proud of her. I'm proud of Phil Thornton for getting Donald Lawrence to get Iyanla involved. I think, I think it was just such a powerful episode. I'm really glad that she is in rehab. She wants to start another 30 days of rehab. I've known Leandria personally. I've seen her struggle. I've never really talked about it openly because of the fact that I was dealing with, me and a group of my friends tried to stage an intervention for Leandria about 4 years ago. And I know a few other artists and a few other people in the business who tried to stage interventions and do things to help her get on the road to sobriety several years ago. But the reality is, with an addict, you can only help a person who wants to be helped. So seeing her finally get the help that she needed, I think is important and powerful. And I'm rooting for her. She's a dynamic voice, a powerful gift. And I just didn't want an overdose or alcohol poisoning or something of that means to take her out of here before her time. So I am so excited for Leandria to be, going through the process of sobriety. And I thought it was well done. I thought Iyanla's show was very well handled. Somebody asked, have I seen the movie Us? No. I have not seen Us because I don't do scary movies. So yeah, that's it on Us. Few more questions. Is there anybody that wants to what's up with Lenny Williams? Okay, so on my Instagram page at Jawn Murray, JAWNMURRAY, there's a video of me lip syncing, not actually singing, because I'm so good at it. I guess people thought I was really singing. I was at the Alfred Street Baptist Church, a church here in Alexandria, Virginia. They have a young adult ministry called Kaya, which is short for Come As You Are. And so my good friend Isaac Curry was hosting, and they invited me to come. And Tamia was the headliner at the concert. If you haven't noticed, there's a Tamia live performance video on my page. And Easy Street and Mike Scott were DJing the party, and Easy Street had mentioned to me he was about to play Lenny Williams, 'Cause I Love You. Now, since the time I was a child, I have loved Lenny Williams, 'Cause I Love You. It's one of the good memories I have from my childhood. And so ever since I've been an adult, it's been one of my favorite songs. Anybody who's ever been on a road trip with me, if you know Charles Butler, ask Charles Butler. He'll tell you. I used to have these R&B concerts in the car. I would lip sync. I have concerts in the house. There's a entertainment executive I'm friends with named Neely Dickinson. She'll tell you certain songs will come on the radio in the hotel room. I would zone out and go right into a lip sync concert. So Lenny Williams' song is a song that's in my repertoire. And so I got on stage. And here's the thing. I don't really clown in public. Like, the most clowning I do in public is sometimes when I get on here with y'all and I might do that whole reenactment of the have and the have-not stuff to make y'all laugh. So I got to singing this song, and I was acting like one of them James Brown singers and falling on my knees. And Ike was encouraging me. And because I knew all the words and all the ad-libs, and I even knew the talking parts of the song, folks really thought I was singing. They offered me dates and concerts and what up, Shanita? Good to see you, love. And so it just was me clowning to Lenny Williams. So go watch the video if you haven't. It is really, really funny. But that ain't me singing. That's the incomparable Lenny Williams. And if you do not have Lenny Williams, 'Cause I Love You in your R&B repertoire, please download it now. Get all 7 minutes and 18 seconds of that wonderful song. Get that in your life because you need it, all right? But yeah, that wasn't me singing, though. My mic was hot, and I was, like, singing under it, so the people in the house could hear me singing under the song. But primarily what you hear in that video is Lenny Williams. So, yeah, folks offered me dates, April Washington. I might need you to help manage that or something, you know? Yeah, I might to join a gospel play, star opposite Shirley Murdock. Shout out to Shirley Murdock. I watched her Unsung. It was really well done. Oh, and I'm on an upcoming episode of Unsung. I am on Kenny Lattimore's Unsung. So I think that airs the weekend of like April the 14th. So check it out. I'll be on his. If I would have known, I probably would have done Shirley Murdock's as well, because I love her. I get a motivational message every day from Shirley Murdock. I was about to pick up my phone and read it to you, but I realized this is my phone right here. But Shirley Murdock texts me every day with a motivational message, and I just really love her. She's a wonderful, amazing woman, you know? Angela Lindsay says, do I know why Steve Harvey got canceled? I don't know that he's been officially canceled, but I know NBC is replacing him in his current time slot with Kelly Clarkson. No answer from live video guest. All right, is there anybody else? Uh-oh, I just did something. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Is there anybody else that wants to go live? If you want to talk about Jussie Smollett, if you want to talk about R. Kelly, if you want to talk about whatever, let's just talk. Well, ask me some career advice. I'm open to the dialogue. I got about maybe 10 more minutes on here with you guys. Oh, my mom is on here. She said I almost had her food with my lip syncing performance to Lenny Williams. And listen, Mom, if I was singing like that, you'd have had your new house a long time ago. We'd be like the Jeffersons, where we're moving on up. I will not be on Sylvia Miles. No, I will not be on the Fantastic Voyage this year. Not this year. I have not seen the Atlanta murders story. A couple of you guys have asked me about that. And I guess some of y'all are being shot tonight. Y'all don't want to go on camera. What about the Cardi B stuff? Can y'all ask me a specific question about Cardi B? Because I haven't been necessarily following it. So, yeah. Try to read all the questions. Antoinette Hosley said it was good hearing me on the Tom Joyner Morning Show. I had a great time being on. It was my first time in 8 years. Vernell Powell Jones said, any updates on B. Smith? No. James, you should go on camera. I know you're probably cooking somewhere. Come on camera, James. Come talk to me. Perdita Brown said, have I seen Ain't Too Proud to Beg? Yes, I saw it last summer at the Kennedy Center. It is an amazing Broadway production. If you get to New York, go see it. Tony Street said, how often do I go live? Maybe twice a month. James, come on, put your wig on and go live. Tasha K has the lower Cardi B. Oh, I don't. I only follow news from legitimate media outlets. I don't follow stories from these vloggers who aren't substantiated and don't have credible, you know, credible, credible credentials in the media realm. So I don't do that type of gossip innuendo. So no need to discuss Cardi B because that's not anything I would get into. K.A. Pulling said thoughts on Jussie Smollett. Watch this broadcast from the beginning and you can catch up. James Murphy did not answer the request to go live. You guys be scared to go live on video. Some weeks I get people, they be like about it. Y'all be ready to get on it. The rest of y'all be scared. So all right, if there's nobody that wants to go live, I feel like I've answered all y'all questions. Why you didn't? Don't laugh at my joke about you, James. Why you didn't answer the video request? Huh, sir? Huh? I'm gonna follow thee. He said he don't have his teeth in, sir. AC Cover says, "Do I follow Love and Hip Hop?" I don't follow anything about Love and Hip Hop. It's not a franchise that I consume in any capacity. All right. Well, we've covered a lot of ground tonight. And since none of you guys want to go live on video, let me see. We've addressed Jussie and Wendy and R. Kelly and Lenny, and I answered a bunch of other hot topics for you guys. It's always great to be with you. I'm headed to LA. Got a gig. And I'll be out there until next Monday. Get back home on Monday. It's been a great chat with you guys, even the ones who got a little out of control. Some of the people who just dropped in here and don't really know the environment here. But hey, you roll with the punches and you keep it moving. Until the next time, people, peace and blessings. Talk to you.